Hey guys, we normally don't do this, but you're about to watch a trailer for a show that our parent company has been working on that we are super excited about. It's a show called Genlock.
If you like anime, you like robots, you like giant fighting robots, you're probably going to like this. And this guy's voicing a character in it.
Yes, I am. So please watch the show.
I like seeing you smile. Been too long.
I'll stay here this weekend, all right?
Love you.
Love you.
We will draw the Union back from their self-defeating path of...
Listen up. This is it. The Union's making their play. This is how the war begins. We did not seek this conflict, but we will rise to meet it. The Vanguard will do everything we can to protect those who have put their trust in us. Get it done, Vanguard.
Welcome to the Anvil. Thank you for all your time thus far, testing for our program.
That's a hell of a way to say hello.
That's nothing. Wait till you see what he does to you next.
We are at the dawn of a new age. What is Genlock if not the next step in humanity's evolution?
Hiya. How you doing? Don't mind me, just learning how to walk. Again.
Looks like we got a team.
Triumph over tragedy. Post up not slowing in like misery. Charging like a bull, hit the ground running. Pushing to the limit so you know that I'm coming. Never give up, never give up. Never give up, never give up. Stay fight, never give up. Fight, fight, never give up, never give up. Stay fight, never give up. Fight, fight, never give up, never give up.
What the hell?
Come on, come on.
Hello, welcome to the Death Battle cast where we wear black and have to restart the show like 4 times before we actually get going.
They didn't know that though.
Yeah, now they do.
Spoiled the magic.
See, we're still
learning the new set.
breaking in the new studio over
Yes,
here.
yes.
And sometimes breaking it.
Yes.
Well, you know.
I mean, that's how it works whenever you go to a new studio with a new set. You just break it first.
Yeah.
And then it works.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode. This Death Battle cast is sponsored by 3 sponsors, which is amazing.
Hey-o.
Squarespace,
New life.
Upstart, and Hims. Thank you to all those sponsors for helping us make this show every week. We really appreciate them, and we will have more to say about them later on in the show.
Ben, Sam, Nick, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. We got it.
But like the audio listeners don't know who's
Oh,
who
that's
now.
true. You're right.
Sound
Like,
off.
I'm
Sam.
Ben.
Oh fuck.
I'm Chad.
We ruined it.
Oh, it's all gone.
No one wants
deal
to
with
be
it,
me.
audio.
Hey, if you're listening to the audio version, we do this in video form. Give it a shot. It's on roosterteeth.com and also YouTube.
Yes.
And if you are watching, thanks.
Yeah, and welcome to the 152nd episode Death Battle cast.
No, it isn't.
That's a lie.
I don't know.
It's
I've
like
no,
we
I
just,
have
no, we
no
just had the
we
100.
just did 100. I know it hasn't been 50 weeks since then.
Yeah. Once we hit 100, I just kind of stopped counting because it was like, it's not worth it
You
anymore.
didn't think the numbers could get that big, you know? Like once you get to
Well,
the triple digits.
It gets interesting again when we hit 150, and then it's
That's
pretty
true.
much like
That's true.
every 50 is cool.
Every 50 is cool.
And then so like we have 1 episode a year to be excited about, if that, because I guess there's probably some breaks. So it's more like 49 a year.
We're just going to
That's rough.
begrudgingly do every single other episode that isn't
Yeah.
around 50.
Yeah. We should just skip them. Like we'll do episode 150, 200,
Then we
250.
wouldn't get there.
No, we'll get there like next week. It will be 150, and then
Yeah.
it'll be 200, and then 250, 300. Of course, shorts fucking a sojourn for 420, and then we're back to 450. Like
This is actually episode 350.
This
Yeah.
is so confusing to people. Like, where are they? I feel like I'm missing so many.
Oh my God, we have 750 episodes? Damn.
We'll see you next week for the 800.
Take that, RT Podcast.
numbers
How quickly
are
we surpass them.
arbitrary is not our slogan, but it is. It works for our podcast. Don't worry.
Speaking of lots of episodes, we have a new season of Death Battle coming up with a ton of really cool episodes. And we will be announcing the first matchup of Death Battle Season 6 at the end of this week, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. We've got some really cool matchups planned for this year. Some of which are extremely popular requests. Some of which are just like really wacky or ridiculous or epic matches that we've just wanted to do for a long time. So it's kind of all over the place this year, and it's going to be fun. Kind of going back and forth.
Should be a fun season.
Yes,
we had a
absolutely.
bunch of fun recording episode 1 in the VO booth.
Yeah. No spoilers yet.
No.
But it's going to be a fun year. But before we get into our first segment of the cast, I do want to tell you guys about our first sponsor, Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. You can create a beautiful website with Squarespace's all-in-one program, complete with designer templates and over 30 starter layouts to choose from. So you got all sorts of choices. Like, what better way is there to start off your year than to start off with a website? Brand new year, brand new website. Why not? Squarespace provides award-winning 24/7 customer support via live chat and email. You can also attend a live webinar or check out their always available help guides. So if you don't know what you're doing, they're there to help. No problem. It's easy to set up a brand new website or transfer your old domain that maybe you've had for a while into Squarespace so you get access to all their tools, but you still have your old website, your old domain. So you can check out squarespace.com right now for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/deathbattlecast to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/DEATHBATTLE cast, C-A-S-T. Thank you, Squarespace.
Thanks. Yeah, they've been a long-time sponsor of the show, of
Very
Death
long.
Battle especially, like one of our earliest sponsors. And yeah, everybody's got that idea
Yeah,
out there,
so-
right? For a website, just do it.
They
Check it
just
out.
sponsored that staring contest Chad and I had where I just dunked all over his
Yeah,
dumb
you did.
face.
My eyes started watering.
I feel like when you do the ads, I should like slowly just roll out.
Oh, yeah, because now
I
you're
know. Well, he's in the shot, so I was making stare. I was trying to make him
I was
laugh.
like, yeah,
And he-
didn't
you
work at all.
You almost did.
Since we've got
second.
2 shots now instead of the single shot, should the second person always be like have like cue cards or something, or like
Yes,
show
just
off
holding
something?
it up to you.
We just pull up the logo like
Throw it.
physically, like
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah,
You're
there
a
you go.
sponsor one,
hold the
Squarespace.
product.
Fine.
Yeah.
Printed on the cheapest paper imaginable. You just got their logo.
It's just Sharpied in.
Yes.
It's like we didn't have time. Whatever.
freehand
Yeah, we just
approximation
freehand
of
draw.
the
I like
logo.
it.
Okay, so guys, we are super hip with the memes these days, right?
Well,
We
yeah,
sounded
what-
so old there.
we-
like
we're-
the oldest you've ever sounded in
Exactly.
your
Tell
life.
us about these Maymays.
We love Maymays from a week ago.
God, I hate that.
So we have hashtag 2009 versus 2019 in
shit.
the list here.
I didn't even notice. Did you
See
guys
down
grab
there.
photos of all of us?
Gerardo did.
Yeah.
I have not seen any of
Oh.
these.
Oh, no.
So I guess we're gonna be looking at a few, starting with. Is this Sean? Is the first one? All right, so we get to make fun of somebody who's not
yeah.
here yet.
Sean was supposed
He's
to
a
be
boy.
here.
Yeah.
He is a little like he looks like. Does he have eyeliner on?
So this is
So-
Sean from 2009.
Honestly,
This
that looks like him today because
No.
he just kind of shaved off the goatee.
This
Yeah.
is 100% legit what happened. I saw Sean post this on Twitter, and I didn't look at the background. I looked at him, and I just go, he looks like one of those guys that would own swords. And then I looked off to the left, and there were swords. So, like,
Yeah, no doubt. Also,
my God.
the CRT TV kind of thing, tube television looking
Yeah,
on
man.
there. That's nice. It's nice.
and then do we have a current comparison, or are we just doing the old ones? Oh, just the old ones. Got it.
Oh,
Well,
so
that's
there's no
Sean.
current.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I
I
guess
think
the
he
idea was that
was-
he was going to be on the cast
yeah,
today.
he was supposed to be on the cast.
No, instead we can just
But-
ridicule him when he can't defend himself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I like
perfect.
that.
I like
plan.
this better.
Yeah, I'm about that.
I guess the next one is Brian. Is that what this is? It says Brian and Gerardo
Hey.
from 2009.
Hey, Brian Gerardo from SGC.
Oh, we don't have a Brian cam
SGC
yet, do we?
That's SGC 2013, maybe 14.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Gerardo,
one of-
did you?
No. 2008 or 2009. Duh.
It would be 9. SGC wasn't around in 2008. 2008 was Iron Man Gaming.
That's right. Then 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
I'm getting all my years completely
It's
wrong.
all good. I never forget. the first
Gerardo
Iron Man
looks
gaming.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Both of them have not aged that much.
Yep. Except Brian just
Yeah.
decided to commit and become like
Shave
a
the head.
badass and shave the head.
Yeah.
Also, Gerardo, did you bring that stapler for Brian to take a picture with for the Brian's handy stapler bit from a million years ago?
G1 actually gave him a stable.
All right, someone else did it.
Oh, that's right. That's old school screw attack
Dude.
stuff.
It might have been. Well, Hellman bought it. So if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, Screw Attack's been around for a million years, even before Death Battle. And we used to produce these like basically skit shows called Clip of the Week, and we did one, and there was this little bit where like we were trying to shamelessly sell stuff, and it was Brian's handy stapler, and I ran merch at the time, and I thought it would be funny to take the
It was
stapler,
literally the stapler off of his desk,
Yes,
right?
it was literally the
it's
stapler off
just been
his
on
desk.
his desk this whole time.
Right, but we like it was a bit in the show, and so what I did is I listed it on our store, but for like $200 or something like that, and I just like I did it for the bit, but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there, and if anyone is brave enough to buy this, I am gonna hook them the fuck up with so much merchandise that everyone will regret that they didn't buy it. Yeah. And so it was up for a couple months, and then Hellman bought it. Hellman 101, he bought it, and I remember like so I'm just like,
is he Hellboy's dad?
Sure.
Continue, sorry.
You said that and you look so innocent too, like. But the best part was like, so
it's
not
Hellman.
so not only
go through my Hellboy history. Oh, there he is.
So not only did I hook him up with a ton of merch, and we made a video about it, but also just pure coincidence, Brentelfloss,
And
who's one of
Nathan
our
Barnett.
and Nathan Barnett,
We're in town
We're
that
in
day.
town, and so Brentelfloss wrote a custom song for him, and like we just went crazy with it, and it was great. It did exactly what I wanted. Everyone was just like, I knew I should have bought that stapler. So yeah, it was good stuff. And then it got
Good
lost.
times.
It got lost in shipping, and then it took forever, but we got it tracked down and got to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
that's
stapler
right, that's
actually
right.
was included in all that too, right?
Yes, it was. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
That's the main feature.
Actually,
really.
because what happened was we forgot to put it in the box because we put them all. I totally did. I put all of the merch and I shipped them all this stuff. And then I remember after it was sent out, I looked over and I saw the stapler and I was just like, shit. And so then I sent him an email. I was like, yo, hey, package is coming. Heads up, stapler's coming in a separate package. And then the stapler package got lost and it was this whole thing. And then it finally made it. It was an ordeal. But we got it. It was fun. That was a
Good
fun little
times.
throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we do have some 09 versus 19 pictures of us
Oh, great.
to look at.
Sweet.
So let's bring up the first one of Nick.
We're all thrilled to look at our younger
Ah,
self.
yes!
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick's like-
that's a picture. I don't know what's going on though.
You're
Am I
on the
trying to-
phone and you're going to karate chop the person who's taking a picture of you?
Dude, I don't know.
I'm not
I
sure
can't
if that
explain
smile is
2009
one of
Nick.
innocence or one of like,
Murder?
yeah.
I'm just wondering where
There's so much hair.
I'm just wondering where Abu is.
There's so much. First of all, if you think you're clever in referring to me as Aladdin,
I know.
that's unoriginal, sir. Around that time, that was like one of my too many nicknames that I had. Speaking of Aladdin, remember when we hit like 2.75 million subscribers on YouTube?
Chad
or
James is
something?
a liar. I do remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
He never provided the monkey that he promised.
That's right.
Oh, what a bastard!
I didn't promise the monkey.
You
There
promised
was-
a
Sure,
monkey.
He did.
yeah.
He promised a monkey.
I thought Craig did the monkey thing. Was that me?
No, it was Chad.
Was it Chad? I don't actually remember if it was specifically you
He
or Craig,
promised
but-
monkeys, and then never delivered, like some
forgot.
sort of monkey
I
business.
forgot. God.
I was
You're just
supposed to.
you're just gonna keep aping on this, aren't you?
Yeah, we can stop there.
one day maybe. I don't know. Let's bring up a picture of Sam.
Oh, I can't
from
wait.
Long hair.
2009.
Oh, it's Sam. That's Chance,
Yeah,
not me
yeah.
behind, in case people are wondering.
That's at an Atmosphere concert. That's where that is.
Is it
I
really?
remember. Yeah. And I am smoking a cigarette because I was that kind of 19-year-old, I think, or actually 20-year-old. This 10 years ago.
I
About
thought they were gonna
1920.
grab your International Man of Danger picture, but that was later.
No, that would have been later. That would have been 11, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's getting man. Throwback to Chance, dude. Chance is getting married soon.
Congrats
yeah,
to him.
I know. And he has aged less than anyone I know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
absolutely.
Yeah,
He looks
it's
exactly the
fucking
same.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So hang on. When I was looking at the list, I was thinking we were gonna get a picture of you when you had like really long hair.
That's
That's a
expecting, too.
longer time ago.
That was okay.
I
that was
can,
much
I
longer
can
than
find those photos.
Okay.
Well,
far back
no.
enough?
In after that,
It was
I
after?
had long hair
Yeah.
too. There was a midpoint where it got cut down to like that length, and then it was like long.
So
long
it just so happened that the meme landed on a year where your hair wasn't super long, and before and after that, when it got
I think
past the shoulders.
2008 would have been pretty long. Like,
Don't,
at least down
don't worry,
below
I'm
the
pretty sure
shoulders.
my hair will have you covered on long hair.
That's true. Let's go to a picture of Chad and myself.
yeah,
there you go.
This old
Oh,
picture.
man.
Man, you look like you're 5.
Yeah. I mean, I was 10 years ago.
You kind of look like that kid that plays the new Spider-Man, whatever his fucking name is.
Tom Holland.
Yeah,
That's me.
Tom Holland. Yeah.
I was Spider-Man back then.
Yeah.
I just remember there was speaking of clip of the week and about that age in Screw Attack history. There was a day when we did, as a skit video, we dressed up as like other people in the company. So Ben, you were Chad.
Yeah, that's right.
Yours is pretty dang good.
That's
you
right.
you
And
just
the
put
beanie.
a lanyard in your pocket, like you could see Chad's
Nailed
in that
it,
picture.
man. Fucking
I
nailed
got
it.
The
Still.
red wig, and then
Yeah.
put a beanie on it. Spitting image of Chad James.
Right, yeah.
And then Jose was Brian. He just put on a backwards hat
Yeah.
or something like that. And then I was Craig, so then I just put on Craig's hat. And that's about all I remember from that skit. I think the hat sucked
That's
me
you could
into
tell.
it. I think
It
the
was
hat
a real
sucked me
banger
into
of a
it or
skit.
something like that.
Man, old school Screw Attack. Yeah, we put out some high quality stuff. Clearly.
It was hit or miss.
Back then, any content, it was just like, oh, content. Like,
Hashtag
you really,
everything is
yeah.
content.
Yes,
You know.
there you go.
You didn't have a high bar in the 2009 era.
It was early internet. YouTube had literally just started a couple years prior. So.
Yeah, what I really wish we could pull up was that picture Gerardo showed us right before he went live of himself.
Do you think
It's
we could
on his
grab that
Twitter.
real
Go
fast?
on to
It's on his
Twitter.
Twitter. You can find it there. He's got long hair and he's wearing like fucking
He
gloves.
looks like
gloves.
Like
Neo.
it looks like he watched The Matrix way too many times, but was also influenced by Akira heavily. And you're like, Nobby, like stop, like you're going in the wrong direction. Like, but obviously he made a 180. He's good now.
You can find that on Gerardo's Twitter, which is @HybridRain.
Yeah, in fact, Brian, is there a chance that we could grab it?
I don't think that
Just
works.
give a
Probably
little bit
not.
of time. No.
I'll drop it.
Okay. Well, maybe we can. Maybe we can't.
Gerardo pull it up and post. He said.
Yeah. While
Here it is. Ooh, look
There
at
it is. Oh, look at him! Wow.
Look at that guy.
Whoa.
What a guy! What a man with
human male.
gloves.
What an upstarting gentleman.
Oh snap! Look at that. Way to segue for us,
Good
Ben.
job, Ben. Bravo.
So, our second sponsor today is the wonderful Upstart. So, Upstart is, let me tell you, in life, you got to apply for a loan, and Upstart helps you do that. And applying for a loan is kind of like applying for a job that you don't actually get an interview for. Instead, loan companies make their decisions based off your credit score and history without getting to know the whole you. Now, thanks to Upstart.com, it never has to be that way again. Upstart is revolutionizing the way you borrow money by rewarding you for your job experience and education in the form of smart interest rates. I mean, personally, I know there's a handful of times in my life it would have been nice to have like been able to get a good loan and not have to do like, oh, here's my credit score. I don't know anything, and like, you know. So the smart interest rate and everything they do seems very interesting and like it could be useful for a lot of people. And unlike traditional credit underwriting, which could be biased against people with a short credit history, Upstart goes beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. Credit worthiness, I like that. Upstart believes you are more than just your credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in less than 2 minutes without affecting your credit score. The best part, once your loan is approved, the funds will be transferred to you the very next business day. The next day. Over 100,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund their wedding, and make large purchases. Hurry up to upstart.com/cast to find out how long your Upstart rate is. How low your Upstart rate is. It's not a long rate. That would be very different. A low rate. So how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes 2 minutes and won't affect your credit score. That's upstart.com/cast.
Well, thank you, Upstart. I wish I had known about you guys sooner because it would have been nice to do that before my wife and I bought a new car. But
That's why we're here telling you about Upstart today.
Yes.
How is the new
Now
car?
you
What
know.
did you buy?
well, it's new-ish. It's used, but only 1 year old.
New to you,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a Kia. Shoot, was it a Forte?
You
No,
bought
it
a
was a Kia
vehicle.
Rio.
Here you go.
S.
There we go.
Kia
This is what I'm
Rio
waiting
S.
for.
You bought a car and don't know the name of it. Like one of the
don't
larger
care
purchases
about
in your
cars.
life,
It's a
and you're like, it's
It's her car. It's not even
okay.
mine.
That's fair. That's nice. I hope she
It's a
enjoys
2018.
it. Yeah.
So it's newer than the one she had, which was a 2007,
Ah.
and very much dying.
My Tiburon was an 07. Love that car. It's great. What?
We have
Oh,
a
we
guy-
have Gerardo.
And now we can make fun of him in real
But now
time
we
with
have
the
that
actual
whole thing.
picture.
Whatever.
Let's look.
There it is. If
There
you
we
saw
go.
That
Oh,
fucking guy.
Man.
Those glasses.
You know who he reminds me a little bit, Sam?
What?
John.
Yeah, yeah. Well, much like the Aladdin thing, there are many Disney characters you can be called to, and Mowgli is among the worst. That's low tier Disney. And that's a Mowgli look you got going on. All you need to do is take off your shirt, go to a jungle,
Get
fucking
a
Mowgli.
loincloth.
That's Mowgli.
But leave the biker
Some
gloves.
red tidy whiteys.
I love that he's doing like the rock on hand too. It's
I
so
know.
good.
And there's a watch.
I can't imagine
like,
Jordan taking a picture like this today. Like, he looks so serious and like has a "don't mess with me" kind of look to him.
And the contrast with the floral print chair is just wonderful. Jordan's cringing into himself right now. It's great.
The way where you are does not represent who you are at all in that picture. Like you're clearly at like a
doesn't
grandmother's.
represent who you are either.
Maybe it does.
Which makes
Maybe
it
he's
funnier.
just putting on a front because society has demanded that he should act a certain way. But in reality, he loves his floral print.
Fair enough.
Anyway, it's time to talk about what's going on.
Acid to acid. Look at that.
So yeah, what was going on with that picture? Good lord, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, so there's two things I want to talk about real quick. I got a question for Nick.
Oh boy.
This question actually comes from Josh,
Our Josh?
our editor, our Josh. Yeah, and he wants Nick. He wants me to do this and present 5 movies and see. Well, let me just go. So
confused.
there are
I'm
potentially
very- it's
a little
5
game,
reboots. There
don't
are
worry.
potentially 5 reboots coming out.
Okay.
Real quick though, man, before you start, why did Josh not just come in here and do this? He's like right down there.
Well, look
He
how
also
much.
has
There's
my
not a lot
phone
of
number. He
room
can text
over
me
here.
literally anytime.
Well, all right. He specifically asked. Okay, so there are 5 reboots
Is this
that
in
might
reference
be
to the
coming
top
out.
10?
No. Well, I guess it kind of is. It kind of works out
'Cause-
because you just put out a reboots
Yeah,
top 10
reboots and remakes
on the no. Yeah. So and we want to know if you think any of them are fake. So there is a reboot of The Crow,
Yeah.
starring Aquaman. There's a live-action Kim Possible.
I know about that.
The director of It is making an Attack on Titan movie.
Okay.
There's a reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot movie series
Reboot squared. Oh my god.
and Shrek. Do you think any of those are fake?
I know for a fact that Kim Possible and Shrek are real. I feel like the Turtles one, my turtle sensor would have gone off in my brain and I would have already known about it if that was real.
I could see Jason Momoa as the Crow. I could see him doing it.
Yeah, so it was The Crow, and then what was the other one?
The director of It is making an Attack on Titan movie.
That one, I think that one's also real.
So you think all of them are real except for the Ninja Turtle one?
I'm gonna say The Crow one's also fake,
Okay.
just because.
Okay.
There's no reason.
If it is fake, like bravo, because that's something you could totally see happening. Like,
I like the concept more that it's not just Jason Momoa as an actor. It's just Aquaman,
Aquaman.
is now
Yeah,
the Crow. Like,
The reality is none of them are fake.
they're all real.
Yeah.
You were so close.
They're all real.
So you missed the turtle
There is a
reboot.
Crow
Hold on,
reboot.
hold
There is a
on.
Crow reboot with Jason Momoa.
I don't
Jason
care about
Momoa. That this is what I wanted to talk
I don't
about.
care about that. This is what we
Apparently,
want, I
there
care
is a
about.
reboot of the Ninja Turtle movie series happening, from the same producers, not
Wait. From the
So the Michael Bay version, they're rebooting.
not Michael Bay, but the
Right.
other guys who produced it are rebooting it.
So they're like redoing it without Michael Bay.
Yeah, apparently. They also produced A Quiet Place, and they were doing an interview about A Quiet Place, and they just like soft announced, "Oh yeah, we're also working on a Ninja Turtles reboot."
What?
Yeah.
What?
It just kind of happened. I don't know.
I need the info on this now.
Yeah.
I need the info on this today. I'm gonna look for this up.
I'm
as soon
looking
as
at
we're
an
done
article
here.
of it right now.
The only good thing about the new Ninja Turtles movies are when we all went to go see it together and the theater was completely empty.
Yes. It was release night too.
I know. It was release night. Nick had whipped us all up and he's like, "We're going." And we're like, "Okay, it's probably going to suck." He's like, "I don't care. It's a Turtles movie. We're seeing it." And it's just, we had somebody
knew it
run
was gonna
down to
suck.
take the photo because it was
It was
literally.
me. I took
yeah,
the
you
photo.
know, okay.
And like, so
We're in the
I go
middle.
down to the front. It's a huge theater too. It's like I go down to the front, and it's just like all of us in Screwtack in the middle, and there's somebody like doing this, and they're oh my gosh, that hurts. I worked out over the weekend.
okay,
and my
I was
arms are
gonna
in
say that's
excruciating
not
pain.
right. If this hurts, like you've done something wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
I exercised, and my body doesn't know what that is. So anyway,
that'll happen.
so just doing this, arms raised up, and there's just like nobody. It's a beautiful picture. I could probably
Yep.
find it on my Twitter if you dig back far enough.
Yeah. So I mean, all
Three
we know.
people showed up afterward, but whatever.
That's true. Like right as the previews, I think, were ending.
That movie was garbage.
Yeah, it was.
The second one was less garbage. I liked it a lot more, but it still was bad.
I don't know if I saw the second one.
I never saw
I
it.
wonder if they
You
just
don't need
know that enough people will go see a reboot of Ninja Turtles. Because it's like if they do a third one, they're like, nah, that Ninja Turtle franchise sucks. I don't want to see another one. But if they reboot it,
We'll give
the
it
whole
another shot.
audience is going back. And so they're just going to reboot it like every 4 years. They're going to be like, another one, new one, new one,
Or
new
they
one.
guess.
or they make it good.
That's the only way it survives at this point, I think, because the nostalgia was what drove people to see that first Michael Bay one, and then nobody came back for the sequel, and that's why they stopped that continuity. I'm honestly shocked they're doing a reboot this early.
This won't happen, and I don't necessarily think it's a great idea, but if I could choose a thing, it would be Ninja Turtles cross Batman, because that comic book series is like surprisingly okay, and I think that would actually be a fun movie, and you could do like, it would just be fun.
Just start
who would
breaking
play
all
Batman?
the rules.
Save the DC
Literally
expanded universe.
Yeah.
Anyone
The Turtles
could
show
show
up.
up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, who would play Batman? Anyone.
Anyone.
Like, literally
Anyone.
Like, I don't care.
Chad, you could play
Michael
Batman.
Cera as Batman.
Fine.
I just want the line from the comics to show up in the movie where Batman is in Crime Alley where his parents were killed, and he's like, "This is where they died, Raphael. This is where my parents were murdered," or something like that.
Yeah.
It's such a silly.
Oh, I
weird
thought there was a
thing.
fun quip coming after that. But no, there wasn't. It was just really dark and sad. Okay.
Yeah, but it's so jarring that it's
The Turtles
Batman
go
and
on the
Turtles.
Batman tour.
Did
This is
Raphael-
where my parents died. This is where I keep the dinosaur statue.
Yeah. Did Raphael
Here's a
throw his
giant
arms into
penny.
the air and scream "damn"? Because then that would have been a
Not that I
good.
know of.
Would have been
They're
perfect.
saving that for the movie.
Damn. Yeah. God, I hope they do.
I love it.
Well, I have high hopes for the movie, low expectations. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
So there's no information about it outside of they just soft announced that, oh yeah, we're doing a sequel to A Quiet Place and a Ninja Turtles reboot. So
Interesting.
What's this
That could
sequel,
very
like,
easily
what-
just
what-
die. in
A
development
quieter
hell.
place?
I
A
hope it's
silent
called that.
A
place.
silent
Yeah.
place?
The room with no sound.
Yeah.
A
A
loud
sound
place.
booth? Like,
Yeah, the sound booth. Yes.
What if it's a loud place and the aliens have evolved so that they just die
I
upon
still haven't
hearing
seen
sound?
I still haven't seen A Quiet Place.
Oh, then no
It's
spoilers.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Man, speaking of Jason Momoa, it's funny. I tried to watch that Netflix show that he has, where he's in like the frontier or whatever. It's real bad. But so like before we watched it, I was like, hey, because I think I heard on the radio, somebody's talking about how much they enjoyed that show, and I was like, well, we're looking for something to watch. I'll put it on. And I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So I was telling my wife, I was like, so Jason Momoa is the dude from, and she goes, yeah, I'm a woman. I know who Jason Momoa is. And I was just like, touche.
yeah. Well, it's got to feel good.
Yeah, feels awesome. Let me tell you.
So you're going to go to the gym with Nick now? Is that what's going to happen? Like,
Yeah, apparently I got some bulking up to do now.
Yeah, maybe. All right. All right. How about that Spider-Man trailer, guys? Literally just dropped this morning. Oh, we actually haven't talked about this, but the Death Battle cast schedule is going through a little bit of a switcheroo.
The official terminology.
the old switcheroo.
So just real quick, yeah,
Gotcha.
we aren't shooting live just yet, but once we start doing live shows again, since we're in the new studio, we're kind of still setting that stuff up. We'll be doing this live on Tuesdays at noon Central Standard Time, and then it goes up on Rooster Teeth. The archive goes up on Rooster Teeth Wednesday, the same day that Death Battle airs on YouTube, and then the YouTube version of Death Battle Cast will go up Thursday. So that's the new schedule for a weekly basis. But anyway,
Should probably have that in like the description,
Yes.
just so people can see it, or
Yeah,
like a
that's a
pinned
good idea.
comment. Or
So
something.
we are shooting this on Tuesday, and the Spider-Man, what is it called? Far From Home trailer, teaser trailer, just dropped a couple hours ago, and we all watched it. I think,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
That's so funny. First of all, I just want to say I did the RT podcast yesterday, and it doesn't come out until tomorrow. And we talked about this, and we were talking about Mysterio, and Bernie and I both were like, "You think they're gonna do like the fishbowl head and blah blah blah?" So now that episode's gonna drop tomorrow, and be like, "Yeah, you idiot! It was in the trailer." And it's like, "Oh, but we recorded a day before." So
That's
close.
funny.
At least we get to talk about it here. It looks fun.
yeah, I think that's the point. It looks fun. Sweet.
Nailed it. Community
Yeah,
death battle.
yeah, well, that's.
No,
I mean, well, that's like, what do you want from a trailer? Looks fun.
I completely forgot that Jake Gyllenhaal was in this movie, and so when he's like, when the trailer gets to the part where it's like, oh, here comes the danger, basically, and it shows a giant rock man, I was like, the heck is Sandman in this? And then they show the fire dude and the water dude. I was really confused, and then Jake Gyllenhaal's face showed up. I was like, oh yeah, Mysterio. He looks really cool in this.
Yeah, that kind of. I totally forgot about him too.
I don't
So
know
when
how
he
I
just
forgot
showed up,
it,
I was
but-
like, what's he doing in this movie? What happened?
Redeeming himself.
They do a great job with the fishbowl look. He looks like a cool character.
Yeah.
Which, it's good.
Yeah.
Good on them. I also like though. It's like the water guy shows up and like Jake Gyllenhaal like you don't need to be part of this. It's like what he just got splashed. Like this water guy doesn't seem like he's doing that much havoc. Like. He's like, oh, you're wet now. And it's like, oh, God, it's so slippery. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I don't get him.
That actually, like months and months ago, I think Tom Holland actually put up a tweet that was like behind the scenes of his stunt double getting hit by a huge wave of water and being knocked through a wall or down a hallway or something like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so now we have the connecting, it's the water guy. Possibly Hydro Man? I'm not entirely sure.
It's Hydra Man.
Well, it might be Sandman and Hydro Man, but then who's the fire guy? I don't recall.
My thing is
The Human Torch.
The Hydra Man,
Definitely.
like, there's like, you know how they put all these little fucking Easter eggs in him?
The Human
Like,
Scorch.
there's a boat that goes by when the kid's taking a picture in the beginning, and it's like
It says ASM 212,
which is Amazing Spider-Man 212,
yeah.
which is Hydra Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like that's what a lot of people say it is Hydra Man because
That's
of
the
this
big
little
Easter
fucking
egg
Easter egg
floating
thingy.
around.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
There is, I can't remember his name, but somebody cast as a character called Dimitri. And Dimitri in Marvel, the first character that comes to mind is Crimson Dynamo, who may be repurposed into a fire person.
Maybe.
I don't know.
In Iron Man 2, the
Extremist
Mickey
thing?
Rourke character. No,
Oh,
you're thinking
sorry,
of 3.
of 3. Ugh.
Yeah, and the one you hate, we all know.
I'm not going there, don't worry.
The guy they had was, from what I remember, like an amalgamation of Whiplash and Crimson Dynamo. Because Crimson Dynamo had like that armored suit thing.
Right.
Which Whiplash did not. I don't know.
Oh, you mean the armor suit that he has at the end?
The very end.
So,
yeah.
like, when he's at the racetrack, he's got the Whiplash outfit,
Yeah.
and then at the end, he's got the Crimson Dynamo outfit. Yeah.
That
makes
was
sense.
my understanding of Crimson Dynamo's involvement in the MCU, but who knows? Maybe he's.
But he still
in
went
this
by
one.
Whiplash. So this might be like, oh, we've already used that version for Whiplash, so maybe we'll make him a fireman for whatever Mysterio is pulling, which he's got like in the trailer, they literally mention that, oh, he looks like a cross between Thor and Iron Man, and he's like using Doctor Strange magic. So the general murmurs in the office, it's like, oh, he's like fake because it's Mysterio. He doesn't actually use magic. He's a magician. So maybe what's going on is he's trying to put up a front, the syndrome
100%.
thing from
No.
Incredibles.
This is exactly what I thought when I saw it. When I started seeing the different elemental monsters and whatever, and I knew Mysterio was in this, I was like, oh, these are all illusions from Mysterio. Like that was 100% my first thoughts. We'll see what happens.
Maybe illusions, or they're people that somehow, because like illusions wouldn't necessarily be actually hitting Spider-Man with
Peter
water.
just thinks he's wet.
Well,
Or it's just completely fake. But and maybe the idea is that he's trying to join the Avengers. And it goes
Still
kind of
like
like
Syndrome.
Spider-Man was in the first movie, but so it's like a similar sort of situation to Spider-Man, but it all goes wrong, and he turns into a supervillain instead.
right.
That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Of course, it's still just a teaser trailer, so not entirely sure how this is going to work out, but it looks really neat. I like what they're doing with Mysterio. We've never actually seen Mysterio in live action, I don't think.
I don't believe
think so.
At least not to this extent.
Yeah.
Quentin Beck may have been in one of the Spider-Man movies and like, oh, you remember he was in the background of this one scene.
Right, in the
You-
scientist,
You like
yeah.
zoom into this one shot. There's a scientist with like a name tag that says Quentin Beck. It's like, oh, there he
Well,
is, and then he walks off.
He was apparently planned to be in the original Spider-Man 4. Because remember, like, in the last like year or
Right.
two, they had some like storyboard stuff come out for what could have been the opening scene of that movie, and it was like this fat, overweight Mysterio getting arrested in the opening scene or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, you can look it up.
Who was
Interesting.
that
That's weird.
super secret villain in Amazing Spider-Man that was supposed to be like the big bad?
Oh gosh, I don't
that
know.
wasn't Mysterio, was it? That was somebody else.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who
He
knows?
just like showed up and talked to people, and then there was like a flash, and he was gone.
I like to think it was J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
There you go.
probably. Oh, the speaking clip of the week, we
Yep.
did that. I think
Yeah.
it turns out it was J. Jonah Jameson the whole time, which Is he in this movie?
I don't know.
Have we not seen
He's
surprised.
not in
Not
this continuity.
Jameson?
No.
Which is so
I know,
weird.
it's such a
At this
bummer.
point, like,
Well, if you're not gonna get
Yeah,
the
you can't
perfect
you
man
can't
for the
best
job
the
back,
casting.
you
So
might as well
yeah,
not do
like,
it.
It's weird.
Might as well let us imagine that.
I don't know. I'd be fine with seeing another one. Like J.K. Simmons was
J.K.
perfect
Simmons
for
is
it,
incredible.
But like at this point, I think I'd like to see a new interpretation of it. Like,
Yeah. Listen, can we all just take a moment and appreciate that, like, in this day and age, we've got, like, pretty accurate to original character representations of Black Manta and Mysterio in major feature films?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Like, I
It's
never would have
bizarre.
thought that, right?
yeah, when you really think about these characters, it's like, do general audiences really want to see
How
some random like sea pirate with a suit that makes them shoot
giant-
lasers?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
the
it's got a
giant
head,
spaceship head. Like, yeah, like, I mean, objectively, you just take these characters aside and just show them to somebody who knows nothing. They're like, that guy looks dumb. Like, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're
And even
actually
some of
doing
the like cool looking characters, you know, like Aquaman, the more and more you read about them, the dumber they sound. So it's like, are people really going to want to see movies about these characters?
Yep.
But Aquaman just hit over $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah, past Wonder Woman. right?
Somehow. Yeah.
Really?
It's like one of
Yeah.
the most, I think it might be the most successful DC
Are you
movie
shitting me?
outside of Batman v
I haven't
Superman,
watched
maybe?
it yet, but I hear it's pretty meh.
I don't remember how Batman v
I
Superman
heard
did.
it was decent. I want to see it, but I kind of also would rather just spend that money to see Spider-Man into the
Well, I
Spider-Verse
think that
again.
also speaks like all of us do like DC, and most of us do like going to the movies. And none of us were like, we were all like, nah, fuck Aquaman, we good. Like I went and saw Spider-Verse. She was great. I was like, Aquaman, nah, we're
Like,
good.
wait, you only till it comes down on DVD, or you have to watch it for a death battle, right?
Yeah.
That's-
Well, even then, like I'll go see them if they look like mad dope. But Aquaman just looked like whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on Aquaman if you've seen it, without spoiling it, preferably.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Hey, before we get into the community death battle, I want to tell you guys about hymns. Here's the deal. When it comes to taking care of your body, it can be easy to ignore things as opposed to going to the doctor. Maybe you're embarrassed, or you think that, that there's no solution to your problem. Today, I want to tell you about 4hims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Specifically today, I'm talking about hair loss. I don't know if you're aware, but 66% of men start losing their hair by age 35. And Hims wants to help. They offer medical-grade solutions with real doctors, and they offer well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. There's no waiting room, so you save time and get to talk with a real doctor from the comfort of your own home. You'll be connected with a certified doctor online, and after a few quick questions and review by the doctor, they can prescribe you, and it's delivered directly to your door. I've talked about Hims. They've been a sponsor for a while, and I got to get on a phone call with one of the founders of Hims, and it was really cool to hear a lot of their motivation. That is just that a lot of people do. Like, there's that stigma with going to the doctor, and, like, a lot of people also don't like to go out and leave their home. And so when you combine that with, I have a problem that might be embarrassing to talk about, and also, like, I don't want to leave my home, maybe I just won't get it taken care of. But there can be solutions to your problems, so I encourage you guys to check it out. So, as a Death Battle Cast viewer, you get a trial month of everything you need to keep your hair for just $5 right now while supplies last. You can see their website for full details. Just head to 4hims.com/cast. That's FORHIMS.com/cast. 4hims/cast. Thanks, Hims.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had like all these weird like vitamins and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Worth looking into.
Yep.
All right. It's time for the community death battle. This week we got a weird one.
Yes, we do.
This is gonna be the cops who arrested Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Versus the thugs who mugged Darkseid.
Yep.
So,
That's incredible.
before
That's amazing.
Before we get into this discussions, of course, you guys can always send in your answers using #DeathBattleCast on Twitter. Some quick little background on how this works or how these went down, and I think we got some pictures to show for this as well. So Thanos was arrested by the cops after being beaten by Spider-Man and Hellcat, but
cheese and crackers.
he's still Thanos.
Oops, I let go of the cube.
Yeah, so the story is he's got the cosmic cube. He
You're
tries
taking
to
for your own
stop
blood,
them with an earthquake using the cosmic cube to make an earthquake around him. He's like, I'll trip him up with an earthquake. Not realizing that the earthquake is also going to affect him.
I mean, that's why you got the oops, Ben.
Exactly.
Sometimes everyone makes an oops.
He drops the cosmic cube, some random fucking kid picks it up. And the entire comic is about Thanos chasing this kid trying to get the cosmic cube back.
Did Spider-Man not pick up the cube?
No. And then Spider-Man and
Like, he
Hellcat
can't just be like,
How irresponsible.
Can I just say that
team up with the police to arrest him.
Can I just say that Spider-Man falling over is unacceptable?
yeah, absolutely.
He should never fall over.
Thanos falling over is unacceptable. None of this shit makes sense. Did you watch our death battle with Thanos vs. Darkseid? Yeah. He's fine. Thanos should just take it or float through the air
He's
or
not
anything.
fine, Ben. He said oops. Nobody's fine when they say oops.
But then in the next panel, for Thanos, he is arrested by the police officers. If we want to bring that up. Do we have that? Yes. With Mary Jane is just kind of there. Yeah, there's the kid who just had the cosmic cube the whole time. Yeah, so Thanos just gets kind of like beaten up and taken in by the cops.
God, look at how campy this dialogue is. It's time for me to make tracks. So long, cat. You're a real swinger.
This whole comic
what a
book
team.
is...
You can say that again.
Yeah, this whole comic book is all puns.
Where were you,
Like
Peter?
every other piece of dialogue.
Oh, I went to call the police, MJ.
And missed all the action as usual.
Also, not to draw into like a woman's value or whatever after especially the new Spider-Man trailer.
Okay.
But Mary Jane looks ugly as fuck in that.
Yeah,
ring.
dude,
Like,
I don't know what's going
whoever
on.
drew her did a terrible job.
She
Because
looks
MJ
like she
is not
just-
supposed to look like a monster.
There's
like
something
she
going on
just-
with her eyes.
Like she just took a peek at the Ark of the
cheek
Covenant.
lines,
It
too.
looks like
Yeah.
mad old school. Like just God. There's like a type of people that look like Vulcans. I can't remember them.
What?
In DC. Oh, I can't remember it. I'm lost right now.
Skrull?
She does
No.
In DC?
Actually, she kind of looks like a Skrull.
Yeah,
Not even in
it
disguise.
might be the scroll I'm thinking of, but
Anyway,
like, she's
so
got
Thanos
a
got
weird
arrested.
look to her.
Are you thinking of Romulans from Star Trek? Because she kind of looks like a Romulan.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been on Romulans. I don't know.
Anyway,
Take
so,
that fictional character's appearance from a long time ago.
So and then let's look at the Darkseid one real quick. There's a panel for Darkseid getting mugged by the thugs. Now, it's important to note here is that Darkseid has lost most of his powers, but not all of them. He still uses his Omega powers every so often during this story arc. But what's going on here is Darkseid's on Earth, not full access to his powers. He's like, oh shit, I gotta hide. So he goes and robs a thrift store to get this coat and this hat. And as soon as he walks out, these thugs show up and are like, yo man, we're gonna rob you. And he's like, oh, I know how this goes. So you're gonna intimidate me and whatnot. And they're like,
It's a big old chain.
we'll
He
just punch you in the
climbs
face with
away.
we'll just hit you in the face with a chain. And they steal, I think they steal his mother box. I think that's what that is. And then they just run off. He's like, well, fuck.
Surely my plight can sink no lower. But then he is like, but then surely there can be no greater incentive to regain my former strength.
Right.
And crush all those.
Also, that last panel, it is so hard to tell that he's standing. Like,
Oh,
why
he is.
the ground and the wall that he's
I can
leaning
tell you
on?
what.
The
I thought he
exact
was
same
laying
thing.
down.
Yeah,
The wall
it's
is like
so
a fraction
awkward.
of a shade lighter black.
It's like
than
they
the floor he's
started.
standing
It's like
on.
they
guess.
started drawing
So
the wall and
weird.
they just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, like because there's those bricks right there. It's like,
Yeah.
why are they what?
It's supposed to be shadow. It's supposed to be the shady part of the alley because it happened in the shadows.
Oh,
And
that's garbage.
and just for kicks, just for kicks, there is another example of what happens when Darkseid has less control over his powers. Go ahead and bring up the next panel.
Silence. This is not just another
sadistic
romp. Sorry, far away from it. Of
so
yours.
he just tripped.
Facade.
You know how much I've invested. Ah! It was unthinkable.
Yeah, he just trips down the stairs
Oh, he trips.
and lands flat on his face.
Is he out cold?
I mean, he weighs a lot. Falling probably hurts.
Like, look,
Like,
he cracked
he
the
shattered it,
concrete.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even notice. Yeah, he is talking, and he's just, oh shit.
Anyway, just some fun stories with
Okay.
Darkseid and Thanos just being utter fuck ups.
Okay.
To kind of emphasize that, yeah, I guess it is possible that the cops could arrest Thanos and that thugs could mug Darkseid in certain situations.
That's so dumb. All right.
But so we have some answers from you guys using hashtag DeathBattleCast. So for Team Cops from Jason Sith, he says Thanos weighs 446.8 kilograms and was carried by 2 cops, each with a pistol. This Thanos just fought with Hellcat plus Spider-Man plus Boy with Cosmic Cube.
With cosmic humor. That's fucking
The
good.
unsung hero.
Yeah.
Darkseid was stripped with no power and flagged by a thug with steel chains. You can knock down a vase carelessly.
Interesting. So the cops are stronger because they're actually lifting.
They're
him.
lifting
Are we
a.
sure they're lifting him? Because we can't see the
They're
feet.
dragging.
They're dragging him.
They could be walking him.
They are dragging it. Well, maybe Thanos is being compliant, but that's not really how Thanos works. Like, he doesn't generally do stuff.
You got
Also,
me.
my big thing here is going to be the pistols. They're going to play a role in shooting the thugs.
That's a good point. Plus, like, yeah, cops are much more well equipped than thugs are. I hope somebody made that
Yeah,
comparison.
like they have a chain and a knife. These guys got what do cops have?
With
Guns.
pistols.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, yeah, been getting a little tied up in the whole Thanos and Darkseid thing, not focusing enough on just the cops.
Cops and robbers.
Yeah.
Thugs.
Cops and robbers.
Why
But-
did we not call this Thanos cops versus Thanos robbers? Anyway,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Darkseid
Darkseid
robbers.
robbers.
Yeah.
Darkseid robbers.
So close.
Okay, so Team Robbers from Joshua Kavering. We've got the thugs have this in the bag. They beat a Darkseid who was, albeit depowered, but the police arrested Thanos after he had already been beaten by the heroes. Who's harder to subdue, somebody out cold or somebody weak? The game of cops and
There.
robbers is the thugs to win. There it is.
I was gonna vote for Thanos just because I feel like Darkseid with his power strip
You
is
mean
more
the cops?
believable. And the sorry, I was gonna vote for the cops. I'm switching just because he actually made the cops and robbers thing. I'm just switching to support him.
Wow. All right.
Right
That's
now.
all you need. Just come up with a good little line in your argument, and you got Chad on your side.
Yep. Yep.
Introduce a little bit of wit. That's all it takes.
Well, we dropped the ball on cops and robbers, but he didn't. So I'm like, all right, I'm there.
Yeah. I mean, but it wouldn't have fit in the little title down there then.
Yeah, we could have made it.
Okay, so we got one for the robbers, right?
Yes.
I was Team Robbers just for direct scaling off of what we know about Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
But policemen have bulletproof vests typically, and they have guns.
Not gonna stop a
Yeah.
chain to the face.
Yeah, but the chain's not going to stop a bullet to the anywhere.
They could miss.
So
Comic cops are terrible at shooting people.
They are. They're stormtroopers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
stormtroopers. They're very ineffective.
well, unless the person they're shooting's bulletproof, and then they got great aim, it just doesn't matter.
That's very true.
But I mean, the thugs can be just as inept. That's why the superheroes always bag them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But those guys were.
I'm switching to Team Thanos cops.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but I'm siding with the police.
I was literally about to say, Sam, are you on team fuck the police? But no.
I just think the guns, and all the gadgets they have. I don't know. That's pre-militarized police forces, though, so it's a little different. They haven't had as much experience shooting people.
Do we know that these police officers have guns? I don't think I saw.
Or batons. That's where my argument
I mean,
hinges.
I assume they're police in New York.
We
Well,
we
okay.
could look
They've
up
got some
what
guns.
the standard kit that a cop had in New York. I can guarantee you there's going to be a gun at that time.
There's been guns.
There's
the
going to be a
whole
gun
time.
at least, but it's and they're going to have probably tasers and shit. But
Yeah.
If I look up,
Yeah, no
I think it was in the
tasers,
70s.
but
So 70s
guns.
New York cop. What comes-
equipment. Were you going to say
Stand-
what
or
comes
standard
with?
issue.
Oh, I was just going to get like a full body picture and see what they're carrying.
Definitely some sort of revolver or something like that.
A revolver?
Well, you wanted like
I'd
standard
imagine
issue
so.
equipment for a 1970s police officer.
There we go.
What you finding?
Yeah, they're carrying pistols.
All right.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah, they
cops.
got gruns, yo.
They got
Bang, bang.
they got runs. So here's the thing though. Like, I'm taking this based on what we know. And we don't really know a whole lot about the police officers themselves. It is true that they didn't actually do anything. They just showed up, grabbed Thanos, put him in handcuffs,
They
and
drug
dragged
him.
him off. So
So
maybe
they're
they're
quite
strong, or they're just like big, beefy boys who are kind of big and capable of carrying things, but they're not like physically fit.
Big beefy boys?
Yeah, big beefy boys. Like, maybe they haven't finished their combat training. We don't know. We never see them
Yeah, I
actually
think
throw
they
a
have.
punch
Would you send
or shoot
some
anybody.
scrubs to go bring in Thanos?
Yeah. I think that's they're probably best in the force.
It's like, no, maybe they were just there writing parking tickets and they looked over and they're like, oh, shit.
Exactly. We don't know if they're the guys that they usually send out for that kind of situation. They could have just happened upon the scene.
Yeah, we don't know how,
Spider-Man called the cops.
we don't know how beefy these boys are.
No, that was his excuse. He didn't actually call the cops.
is it not possible that Spider-Man could have been like, "Hey, I have Thanos. Come take him away"?
No, because he was
By the
fighting
way,
Thanos.
Sincerely, Spider-Man.
He was fighting
He would
Thanos
have
at
webbed
the
him.
time.
He would have webbed him. Like the cops had to have already been there by circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cops are already there. So I believe I could be wrong, honestly, about the comic, but the point is, all we know about the cops is that they just drag off Thanos, who is already subdued.
Right.
Whereas the thugs,
They do some work.
we know that they can beat somebody up. We know that they can take out Darkseid, who is still a heavy guy,
Yep.
and also a new god. Like, regardless of whether or not he's got his Omega powers, he's still got the new god physiology. You're not supposed to be able to just hit him with a chain and he falls over. So the fact that he just fell over and he was done from one hit
Well,
is
maybe,
crazy.
Maybe he wasn't also. He was trying not to like start a ruckus.
No, literally in the
Well,
panel,
yeah,
he's saying
okay.
like, if I had my powers, I would just murder them right now.
Yeah.
But he's just like pathetically just on the ground.
Still
Just
going
done.
cops. They have guns.
All right. I got robbers.
I think robbers. for me.
Cops.
All right.
Okay,
So
let's
we're
look at this
tied.
vote.
Yep,
The
let's bring up the
table is
vote from you
divided.
guys.
Oh,
Yes!
come on.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Suck it!
Wow. This is way closer than I was expecting.
Thank you for your wonderful pun. Did we vote this time?
No.
Good.
No,
I'm just making sure.
There's no bias this time.
no bias this time. Some other times, yes, sure. But,
Sometimes we have the screw attack bias.
Yeah.
damn.
Okay, Gerardo voted.
Well, good job.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Way to congratulate ourselves.
Yes. Go Team Robbers. Man, that was a really close vote, though. Thank
was.
you, everybody who voted in the poll. As always, for Death Battle Cast, you can always vote on the community death battles on Twitter when we post the polls after announcing it. And for next week's community death battle, we're going a little more traditional because the last couple have been a little
Yep.
off the wall.
Just a little bit.
So this week we are doing Rafael from the Ninja Turtles versus Red Hood.
Interesting.
Oh, rest in peace,
Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. We'll
like,
see.
just kidding.
It's
Back on that whole guns are pretty effective tools thing.
yeah, but Raphael deals with guns all the time.
Yeah.
He was bulletproof in the Michael Bay one for some reason.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you would assume their shells are definitely bulletproof. The rest of them,
Yeah, no, not the squishy turtle meat, man. That's gotta.
they're not usually bulletproof even in the shells. Like there's a Leo fought Shredder and Shredder was able to like slice off part of the shell or something like that.
Yeah, but that's
grow
Shredder
back?
with a sword. You can cut Kevlar.
Whatever.
well, their shells
All
are
right,
Kevlar.
whatever,
Let's
whatever.
just
Well,
leave that for
I'm
next
just
week.
saying, like, it's a different situation.
Yeah.
We'll
see
we'll
what
cover
happens.
this next week. But
Okay.
let us know who you think would win between Raphael the Ninja Turtles versus Red Hood from the Batman family. Speaking of Ninja Turtles and Batman teaming up.
Yeah.
I would
like
love
a- I
Raph
just
to
picture
win,
like a
but I'm not
sitcom.
holding
It's
my
like-
breath.
The Batman family. Like,
I mean, they basically did it.
They
Batman
reference
Incorporated.
the Bat
Yeah.
family a lot.
Yeah, the
like,
Bat family's a
especially,
thing.
I'm just picturing like a Brady Bunch intro, but then it cuts in and it's just all dark shit.
Family.
Yeah.
There's a.
I mean, that's what
bit-
they're called.
There's a bit in New 52 where they all go to lunch together at the Batman and Joker themed restaurant.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
There you go. That's the pilot for your
Yeah.
Batman family sitcom.
Perfect.
Yeah, like they just go to lunch and they talk shit about how Batman sucks at being a mentor, right?
Yeah, the first thing they
It's
try
all
to
the
go,
Robins,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
They try to
and
go to a
Batman's there
theme park.
too, but yeah.
and then the guy
The
asks, "Do you have a
Bruces.
parent or legal guardian with you?" And then a lot of them get real sad.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, you can go to our Twitter to vote on that battle when it goes up, and use hashtag DeathBattleCast to let us know who you think wins and why, and we might use your argument on the next episode of Death Battle Cast. Thank
Thanks
you
for
guys
watching.
so much for watching this week. We will see you next week. See ya.